Hey guys, this is a segment from the Slumpbuster Podcast. You can find the full episode on any of the various podcast platforms, or of course, subscribe to us on YouTube for more of our content. Other than that, guys, sit down, bust a slump, and enjoy. Okay, let's shift our focus then. Let's go to the NFC, and this one is a pretty easy one to start off with for me. The Rams are heading into Lambeau.
Yeah,
that should say it all right there. But the Packers are 6.5-point favorites.
That's huge.
Easiest, simplest explanation I can say for why the Packers are going to win this game. It's Jared Goff on the road, cold weather. He has shown no ability to move the ball down the field in these circumstances. I always remember that 2018 game against the Chicago Bears. And that's going to become very apparent very soon in this game. As much as I love the Rams defense, if you can just shift some of the pass rush, pass protection to Aaron Donald's side, Aaron Rodgers, give him some time, and he's going to find the open guy. Because
do we even know if Aaron Donald's going to play?
If that's another big thing. And yeah, playing in the cold conditions too, the Rams may be even in a position. I think he's going to play. Yeah,
right.
He's a gamer. He's going to play, but at what level? What percentage of Aaron Donald are we getting at that point?
Right.
Especially with a rib injury. We're talking about Drew Brees' ribs for months on end. And we're talking about a guy who has so much power and strength and drives from his core. He's going to be feeling that on every single attempt. He might have to get one of those Tyrod Taylor-like shots. Hopefully they don't puncture a lung, but still.
Right. Sheesh. I feel you, man.
What about you, Adam? How are you feeling? A pretty simple one for you too?
I would say that the Rams definitely have a chance. I like the defense that I see from the Rams. And I'm going to tell you right now, if if Jalen Ramsey comes out and is able to actually contest Devontae Adams, I think we could see a version of Aaron Rodgers that we haven't seen all year. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Packers don't have a great record against winning teams this year, right? They're kind of in the same boat as Tampa Bay right now. Like, they've beat up on a lot of bad teams, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they've won some good games, don't get me wrong, but like that loss to the Colts, that was kind of tough. You know, we'll throw that out. Not even worried about that. I feel like if they can really put Devontae and put Ramsey on an island and Ramsey controls that battle, because we know the Rams have the potential to win in the trenches. And let's not forget that David Bakhtiari is not in this game. He obviously went out and he has not been available for the playoffs, having that injury in practice. I am going to take the Packers to win. I'd love for the Rams to win. So that way, if my Saints beat the Bucs, man, we can host the NFC Championship. More than likely, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to win this game. But, don't be shocked if there's an upset from the Rams, because they're playing a really good defense. Like, it's not just going to be a rollover. And let's not act like the Packers don't have a soft defense. The Packers do have a soft defense. It can be exposed. Let's not disrespect Sean McVay. I know Cooper Kupp got banged up a little bit, and the same with Aaron Donald, but they know it's on the line right now. I'd say that those guys are going to play. And I'd argue that Sean McVay is a better coach than Matt LaFleur, man. I definitely would. All due respect to Matt LaFleur. Obviously, he's got better weapons. He's got better talent over there. But Sean McVay is a fantastic coach, and everybody knows that. We see what he was able to do with the Rams, taking them to the Super Bowl. I am going to take the Packers in this one, but like I said, don't be shocked if there's an upset from the Rams if they can control that secondary and win in the trenches, man, for sure. Defense could show up in that game.
No one's going to contest that Sean McVay is a fantastic coach. The problem is even a healthy Jared Goff would give me cause for concern. And he's got
screws in his thumb.
He's got screws in his thumb. The Packers do have a good pass rush with, the Smith brothers. And
right.
I think for a guy who's a little bit of a statue, the only chance that the Rams will have in this game is if they can really establish the running game. If you look at the Packers, what's their biggest area of weakness? That zone running scheme that obviously Kyle Shanahan and the Niners were able to expose last year in the NFC Championship game. If Cam Akers could get rolling, then that's going to be the only opportunity I see for the Rams to win. But I think that, again, they just have so many limitations, so many guys banged up, and this is not an easy road trip for them. That's why the Packers are going to win in this game.
I feel you, man. I definitely feel you. I love what I'm seeing from that Rams defense, but I don't know if they've got enough in that subpar play of Jared Goff. But here's the thing. If the Rams come to play, man, I feel like this could maybe, just maybe, call me crazy if you want, be an easy game for the Rams, because if they can expose that softness, if they can get Cam Akers going, if they can isolate Devontae, like, it's a tall task, no question, but the Rams have the pieces to do it. The question is, it really comes down to what version of Jared Goff are you going to get? It's kind of like a Phillip Rivers. Is he going to come out and get strip sacked in the last 2 minutes of the game and throw a pick when you don't need him to, or is he going to come out and play flawless and throw for like 280 yards and 3 touchdowns? What version of him are you going to get? And it's a coin flip on him, but Packers are probably going to win this game.
Hey, you're talking to the guy who bet wrong on the Packers 2 years in a row. I've said 6-10 team 2 years in a row. Since the inception of this podcast, I've been the resident Packers hater. Packers fans don't even listen. They tune me out. That's why, like, I'd be with you. I'd be open to it. The last thing this podcast can afford is the Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl at this point.
Oh, whoo. I know that's right. I know that's right, man.
Hater Bowl 2021.
Right.
All right. Well, this one obviously near and dear to you.
Yes, sir.
Note here.
Thank you so much for saving it for it means.
It felt right. I mean, the television networks seem to be aligned with you in the same respect, saving this one for the final game on Sunday.
I know, right? They had to, didn't they?
Yeah. Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Saints are a 3-point favorite, considering that they've beaten the Buccaneers by 30 plus the last couple times, or 20, at least 20 plus in the week one. I won't exaggerate.
Right. Yeah. I think it was like 11 point, something like that. But I feel you good wins on both ends. No question. The 38-3 was enough to speak for itself.
I'll let you kick it off on what we can expect this Sunday in the third matchup of these two legends.
Absolutely, man. So it's going to be one of two things. I think it's going to be either a knockdown, drag out game in terms of potentially being a shootout. I could see that happening, but I could also see a really tightly contested defensive game, and it's going to come down to one mistake. And even if I wasn't a Saints fan, I give the Saints the edge in this game because I think they've got the coaching. They've definitely got the defense. And you can argue that the offense on its best day could be more lethal than that Bucs offense. We obviously know who Brady is. He's had a better season than Brees. He can still throw the deep ball. I mean, he might be the smartest of the two. I mean, let's not decide who's better, between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, man. Like, obviously, they're both really great guys in terms of intelligence and being accurate. But I feel like it's going to be Sean Payton is going to be able to outcoach Bruce Arians, and we're going to be able to have that secondary on lock because the Bucs secondary on the flip side is average, and we've got our receivers back. I want to say they're 26th, 25th in the league in allowing passing yards. So definitely not something you want to see from a team that's trying to push with this super team build and go win a Super Bowl. I definitely want the Saints to try to establish the ground game. I think we can win in the trenches without question. I know Trey Hendrickson's coming back, so we're going to need to get pressure on Brady in order to get him off of his rocker and, make him not effective. And at the same time as well, I know the Bucs are going to be bringing the pressure. I know the Bucs are coming to play, man. They, in a way, both of these teams, it's almost like a double-edged sword because in a way, the Saints are the team that the Bucs do want to see in the playoffs, but also in a way at the same time, they're the last team they want to see in the playoffs. They want to see them because they played them twice. They've been to New Orleans. They've lost to them in New Orleans, and they've lost to them, in their house in Tampa Bay with that embarrassment. But you also look on the flip side of the Saints, is Sean Payton going to bring that same game plan? Is he going to be able to take the third one in a row? Now they're meeting in the playoffs. And, like I said, with the Saints, they, the Buccaneers potentially are the team that they did want to see because they know them. They're probably ready for every play they have. They've seen the tendencies this year, but Tampa Bay is really polished. They came in, Tampa Bay and the Ravens were probably the two hottest teams at the right time going into the playoffs. The emergence of Antonio Brown, Brady's been playing well. Bruce Arians seems like he's trying to get the offensive schemes better for him. But like I said, I feel like, these teams are pretty evenly matched on both levels. It's going to come down to coaching and defense. That's where I feel like New Orleans has the advantage, man. And I am going to take the Saints to win this game in a close one, but I'm going to take the Saints to edge this one out and move on to the NFC Championship.
Well, this game comes down to legacy. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees,
100%.
He came back this year with the idea that this would be his time to make a title run. Obviously, the Saints have dealt with some heartbreaks over the last few years when it comes to trying to win that second Super Bowl for Brees. Tom Brady, on his end, his first year away from Bill Belichick. The Patriots aren't in the playoffs. Tom Brady had one playoff win. He wants more. And if he does get to the Super Bowl this year, his path, aside from facing Taylor Heineke, will look something like this. I beat Drew Brees. I beat Aaron Rodgers. And maybe I beat Patrick Mahomes.
Right. The AFC's still a toss-up for me, bro. I feel like it could be Allen Mahomes or maybe even Lamar, dude. Seriously.
But even if we're just saying, favorites, in Brady's mind, who he's thinking, he wants to beat the best.
Right.
Here, just knock on his legacy. Oh, you play in the AFC East. You go against the Dolphins and the Jets. You have an easy path to the Super Bowl.
Right. You win one game.
You have to go through Peyton Manning, but that's about it.
Right.
Now he's in the NFC. Now he gets to go through Brees. Now he gets to go through Rodgers.
Yep.
In that second game, Tom Brady is so ego-driven. He still remembers he's pick 199.
Right.
The guy who has won 6 Super Bowls, been to 9, still talks about the fact that he was pick 199 every second of every day. And
he's still hungry, and that's what I respect about Brady.
And that is why I'm going to break your heart, Adam. I'm going to go with the Bucs.
I know, man.
And their third time around, because I just have a hard time betting against that guy at this point, especially coming off that embarrassment. Mm-hmm. What's the biggest difference in the last time these two teams played? Michael Thomas is back, so that's a plus for the Saints. Obviously, the Bucs don't have the best secondary. I think how they've been beaten in the past hasn't been necessarily the Michael Thomas route. Obviously, speed guys over the top have been able to burn them in particular.
Right.
Thomas, expert route runner. And like you mentioned, Drew Brees doesn't necessarily have the deep ball in his arsenal, though. As far as on the Bucs half of things, AB is really coming strong. Like you said, they've just seemed to be flowing a little bit more offensively.
Oh, yeah.
Early in the season, heading into that Saints game, we had those Bruce Arians headlines, Bruce Arians versus Tom. Now it seems to be just they're working in tandem with each other. We're seeing enough deep balls, but it's not an overabundance of the two. Right. We're seeing a little bit more Brady in there. And I think the Bucs offense it just gels better. And now they've gotten the running game going with Fournette and Rojo and a decent mix there as well. And I think this is where they get their revenge here. And I'm going to pick the Bucs in the upset.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And you're not wrong with that pick. You know, if there's one thing I've always said, it's you don't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs, but this is going to be the one time that I do because this year's just so different for him. Like, I know he's got the motivation coming in, and I know that he wants to win this game extremely. He's still hungry. You know, the legacy, it's not on the line. He just wants to improve that legacy because if he's not already the GOAT, he will be if he wins the Super Bowl this year. There's no question about that. But, you know, I mean, they're going to come to play without question. I've said so far, this could potentially be the best game of the entire playoffs. Yes, even better potentially than the Super Bowl. I think that's how great this game is going to be. And, you know, here we go. We're going to have it at 6:40 on Sunday. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a fantastic game. I've still got the Saints winning because, like I said, I feel like it's a coaching mismatch. And that Saints defense is one thing that I've trusted like I've never trusted before, you know, for my team, man. I mean, you look at the year we won the Super Bowl. We weren't a great defense. We were about middle of the pack, but we forced a lot of turnovers. The Minneapolis Miracle defense wasn't great. No call year defense wasn't great. Even though I talked all year about the Saints winning the Super Bowl, I knew in the back of my mind that we would fall victim to the deep ball and the play action crossers, man. Like, we could not guard that year. And I don't know why. Last year was kind of the same thing. That's how we got beat in the playoffs, because our defense was bad and defenses were all over us. But this year, man, this is the best team the New Orleans Saints have ever had. And if it's not the best team they've ever had, it is damn sure the best defense that they've ever had. And that's without question. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. We're going to be able to get more pressure. We're going to be able to play better in the secondary. And I think we've got the coaching to do it, man.
Okay, well, that covers it for the NFL Divisional Round playoffs. And to your second question, I think I'm going to go with Jeff Bezos over Elon Musk. I think I'm going to lean a little bit there.